Chagulanyi Sentamu, Robert Bobi Wine's first speech ever since he survived the death from General Museveni's military police officers here in Magere.
Much, Comrade Lop. Oh, my voice sounds so strong. Does it mean all the strength that left my body went to my voice? I want to welcome all of you, ladies and gentlemen, members of the press, comrade, members of parliament, foot soldiers, members, friends, ladies and gentlemen. Today, it is by the grace of God that I'm able to speak to you, that I'm still alive. On Tuesday, together with some comrades, we set off from here, George Musisi, for a private function, just about 4 or 5 kilometers from here. That was in Bulindo. Bulindo is a very nearby place from here. Everything went so well at the function. We left here at 3 and we spent about 2 hours or something at his house. So at about 5, we set off to come back here. I moved with some foot soldiers, our comrades who were riding bikes and were dressed very smart. But like you have seen in some of the videos that are circulating on social media, having moved just a few meters away from Councillor Musisi's house, we met the police officers charging towards us, shooting explosives and beating those that could not run fast enough. You have seen some comrades in the videos putting up their hands as a sign of peace and pleading with the officers to stop the violence, but in vain. The police descended upon innocent comrades and brutalized them so badly as they were struggling to make sense out of the situation. My driver saw them coming, and because he knows how they usually behave, he very quickly rolled the windows of the car up. Unfortunately, the roof of the car was still open. So one of the police officers climbed on our car and pepper sprayed inside the car through the open roof. Now, this forced us to come out of the car. And as soon as we came out of the car, one Robert Kuzara, who is the DPC of Chira Police Station, ordered and shouted, "Shoot him." I'm glad that moment was also captured on camera, not by our people, but by bystanders. The shooting began. One PSJ pulled out a gun, but glad enough we had a camera with me. So I told him, "You're on camera." And then he moved, turned around, grabbed the tear gas canister from one of the police officers and threw it to us. The canister exploded on my leg, shattering my shoes and harming me so bad. That is how I ended up in this state. I must mention that I'm a very lucky man, because in the presidential campaigns of 2021, a similar explosive was thrown at me, but it missed me narrowly and it hit a lady called Zubeda. Zubeda lost her leg, and up to today she continues to face hardships in life. No justice has been served to her whatsoever. The people that took her leg were not brought to book. That matter was swept under the carpet. The same canister was thrown into a residential room in Lumumba Hall at Magere University during a student's protest. It exploded right there, and a medical student called Seboganda Ronald, who is here with us today, lost his hand. I don't know if Seboganda is near. Yeah, Richard, sorry, I called you Ronald. Come on, bro. So the same canister smashed Comrade Richard Seboganda's hand, and maybe he can show you what happened to his hand. That is what happened to Sebuganda's hand. With the same tear gas canister, he lost his hand. Moreover, his right hand that he was using to write. Of course, shamelessly in their initial statement, the police claimed that I stumbled and fell and I hurt myself. It is a shame that the police spokesperson, Ewan Chituma Rusoke, has taken lying to an even higher notch than Enanga. They trained them to lie in broad daylight without shame. And then after a while, they issued a second statement where they tried to change the narrative because many videos came out and exposed their lies. At this point, ladies and gentlemen, allow me to salute the citizens who recorded all these events as they unfolded. I want to thank them very, very much. For a long time, we were asking people to use their cameras. We've been telling them that their cameras are their weapons and they listen to us. Otherwise, without them, we wouldn't be able to substantiate the truth. They would have maintained their lie that I stumbled and fell. As a matter of fact, maybe they would have blamed us for something else, but everything was captured on camera. Ladies and gentlemen, you remember when Museveni's minister one time, shamelessly, after Zake was tortured, he went and told Parliament that Zake tortured himself and actually he hurt himself by biting his own ears. That was a minister saying that. Therefore, I want to make another call to the people of Uganda to continue using their cameras. It is those cameras that are keeping us out of jail. It is those cameras that are keeping us out of danger. But most importantly, it is those cameras that bring out the truth. Because General Museveni has compromised almost all media houses, and the truth cannot come out. But when citizens record these things and put them out there, then we have at least a certain degree of safety. You recall all after the murder of Comrade Rita Nabokenya, in front of police surveillance cameras, Enanga, who was the police spokesperson at that time, came out and said, oh, those cameras were faulty at that particular time when Rita was killed. The same way they did, same thing they did after the murder of Dan Cheune, after the murder of Ziggy Wine. They said the cameras were not working. So this means that we can never ever have the hope of having the truth or getting footage from those cameras, because those cameras are manned by the criminal police who are so allergic to the truth. Abana umugambi tibawogana twogera luzungu. So, Mr. Chituma, the spokesperson of the police, I saw him displaying videos of police surveillance cameras from a different place. He even brought videos of our activities back in the day. But that particular place, there was a camera pointing down on that lonely road where they waylaid us. But we know that they cannot bring out that camera because the footage pins them. That is the police that we have today. Away from that, ladies and gentlemen, I will say that many, many times the attention tends to be focused on me, but there are so many people that got hurt in the Tuesday scenario. For instance, many comrades who were attacked and brutalized are still nursing wounds up to today. Nobody is considering them, and there's no focus on them. You've seen videos of police officers who were beating, boxing, and kicking them with their boots, totally unprovoked. Young men like Rukenge Sharif, Sentongo Emmanuel, and Katopol are still detained illegally at Chira police station, way beyond the 48-hour rule. So that shows you the kind of police that we have. Ladies and gentlemen, allow me to put the Tuesday attack in context, especially for the benefit of those who think that we are exaggerating these circumstances. As a matter of fact, we are trying to downplay our pain because we don't want to make them feel like they succeeded in what they wanted to do. Exactly 1 month ago, ladies and gentlemen, the head of our security, Comrade Achileo Chivumbi, was abducted near his home. He was tortured so bad in the military detention and then finally charged in a military court. He is in prison right now. No crime whatsoever. Comrade Achileo is being represented by our lawyer, George Musisi. So that is one of the reasons why myself, together with all those foot soldiers that have been bailed out of court by Council Musisi, we decided to carry a chicken and a bunch of bananas to go and thank him officially and appreciate him for his work. I told you he is representing the head of our security, Comrade Achileo Chivumbi, who is in prison, joining a long list of both known and unknown comrades that the regime has turned into political prisoners. This started long ago, since we started challenging Museveni. It still continues until we stop it. At the beginning of this week, we went to Chitalia to visit some of our comrades in prison. We also visited the FDC activists who were picked from Kenya recently, brought back to Uganda without following any due process, tortured, and then finally charged with treason. In the recent years, ladies and gentlemen, myself have survived more than 4 clear assassination attempts. The very first one was in Arua, where my driver, Yasin Kauma, was shot by Museveni's guards, the SFC. That was in 2018. Then, they thought they were shooting me because the place where Yasin Kauma met his death, that's a place that had been sitting in that car all day. So as soon as I left the place, Yasin sat in that place because he was my driver, and that's how he met his death. And then on 1st December in Kayunga, you all remember the presidential campaign, the police threw a similar explosive at me. It missed me, fell a distance, but near Dan Magic, and the police officer that was heading my security during the campaign, Afande Kato. Dan Magic was smashed, he lost his teeth, and his mouth was cut. He has had to undergo several surgeries to restore his jaw. And as we speak right now, he's in the UK for yet another surgery. As for Afande Kato, we've never heard from him. We don't know whether he's still alive or dead, because we clearly know what the regime does to people, especially in the police, who are kind, who exhibit even the smallest level of humanity to those that the regime regards as enemies. The same day, ladies and gentlemen, on December 1st, after we dropped Dan Magic to hospital, we proceeded to Jinja. And that's when the army made another attempt on the same day. They shoot bullets through our windscreen, narrowly missing Honorable Zake, and they also shot into our tires. So, looking at all these incidents we have survived, including the fake accidents, we are convinced that the Museveni regime is determined to kill us. Yes, they want to murder us, only that they have still failed to create the perfect circumstances to assassinate us and then blame it on us. This is why they've tried so many times to provoke me and my team into violence, into confrontation, so that they can get justification to murder. They justified the murder of Yasin Kauma by claiming that more than 30 of us picked a stone and we smashed General Museveni's bulletproof car, Roa. That was the justification of the murder of Yasin Kauma. So they are trying to use a similar narrative to kill us. I want to thank the comrades that we move with, the foot soldiers, for exhibiting the highest degree of discipline. They are extremely, extremely disciplined and self-restrained, even when they would be justified to defend themselves. It is that, our discipline, that is standing between us. Our discipline, ladies and gentlemen, to you the foot soldiers, I want you to know that it is our discipline that is standing in the way of those that want to take us out of the way. So I salute you and I encourage you to continue being disciplined, because that exposes them and fails their attempts on us. We also have information, ladies and gentlemen, that most of the police officers involved in that Tuesday attack are actually not police officers. These are soldiers, only disguising as police officers. Others are hardened criminals that the regime uses and then rewards very heavily after they commit these crimes against innocent citizens. We are also informed that the man you saw dressed in a black t-shirt with dark shades and a police trouser in those pictures that went viral, that man is called Shadrach. He was part of the notorious Operation Wembley group that killed many people extrajudicially. That man masquerades as a pastor in Manyangwa, in this constituency. His name is Shadrach, and this is the criminal. He was part of Operation Wembley. He masquerades as a pastor, and we are informed that he was jailed some time ago after being caught in a rape scandal. But as you know, General Museveni always picks out the worst criminals because they have nothing else to do. They owe him their freedom, and that's why they are ready to do every nasty thing for him. The man you saw ordering for my shooting is called Kuzara Robert. Here. This is the man that ordered for my shooting. You saw him on a video shouting, "Shoot him." This is the DPC of Chira police station. His name is Kuzara Robert. And then the man who threw a canister at me is called Twesije Kaino Elias. This is the man. This is the man who pulled a gun at me, but because the camera was looking at him, he wasn't sure whether it's live or not. He put back the gun, went around my car, picked a canister and hurled it at me. That is the canister that exploded on my leg. This is the man. His name is Twesije Kaino Elias. He is the OC station for Chira police station. Now, this man, Twesije, he has committed crimes. You saw him the 2021 presidential election, boxing a presidential candidate. Nothing happened to him. And as we always tell you, Museveni rewards criminality for as long as that criminality is committed against his political opponents. He rewarded Mwesije with a promotion, like he has done to many, many other criminals putting on police uniform. So you can be sure that nothing will be done to punish these criminals in uniform. They will instead be rewarded for the crimes that they've committed on us. Two days ago, this one I did not mention about, and this guy is called Issa. We have told you many times that when people are detained in CMI, women are raped, boys are sodomized. Victims have identified this man called Issa having sodomized young boy and raped girls. This is Issa. He was part of the Tuesday operation. Now you know that the raid was intended, it was by criminals, and they had very nasty intentions against us. 2 days ago, ladies and gentlemen, you saw that the regime promoted Frank Mwesigwa to the rank of AIGP, Assistant Inspector. Now, Frank Mwesigwa is currently the Director of Operations in Uganda Police. His high-handedness and criminal actions against us in Luwuka led to the 2020 November massacre, where more than 150 innocent Ugandans were shot and killed. He was not punished, he was rewarded with a promotion. The same way, Ewan Abaine, who shot Ashraf on the head and got him in that condition that he's in right now, he was promoted to Commissioner of Police. This was a veiled message to other police officers who still have a semblance of respect for the rule of law, to encourage them to act like the messages of this world. Museveni himself sanctioned criminality, ladies and gentlemen, after the Arua attack. You remember he shamelessly said that there was no attempt. I mean, that he said to those that were attempting to prosecute these people, he told them that those criminals beat me very well. That was General Museveni for you. And that way, he was assuring the criminals of protection and safety for as long as they deal with his opponents with brutality and with ruthlessness. Now, this explains the Tuesday unprovoked attack. And this convinces us that these people had come to do more than harm us, to do more than disable us. They wanted to kill us. We don't know when they're coming back again, but it's important that we tell the world what the regime is intending to do to us. I want to appreciate very sincerely all of you friends and comrades here in Uganda and abroad that have sent us messages of love, messages of sympathy, messages of solidarity and encouragement since the Tuesday's violence. Thank you very, very much. From political leaders to religious and cultural leaders to citizens and friends, we don't take that for granted, ladies and gentlemen. Those that have raised their voices here in Uganda, our brothers in Kenya, in Tanzania, and all over Africa, we salute you and we appreciate you very, very much, ladies and gentlemen. Our diaspora chapters in the US, in Canada, and all over the world, we salute your efforts. We thank you for raising your voices and coming out to protest against this brutality. And we hope that Uganda's development partners will take Tuesday's actions by the regime against we, the peaceful citizens, as another wake-up call. In several ways, you, friends, have either knowingly or unknowingly sponsored our operation, and we ask you to stop. We want to encourage you to review the support that you give to dictator Museveni, thinking that you're giving it to Uganda, because the regime is using all that they get from you, the development partners, to oppress people with impunity. So we ask you to review your relationship with Museveni and do it as quick as possible, because Ugandans are dying. We also want to request you to hold accountable the commanders of the security agencies that use lethal and sometimes illegal ammunition against innocent citizens. We ask you, development partners, the international community, to walk the talk, to stop supporting Museveni, whose major preoccupation is violating international law. On our part, ladies and gentlemen, we are going to sue these criminals in their individual capacity. We also want to tell them that we are not going to give up. We are going to very soon resume our legal and constitutional activities all over the country. As I conclude, ladies and gentlemen, I want to encourage Ugandans of goodwill to remain firm in their demand for a better country. Whatever happens to any of us, however bad, don't stop. When one of us is put out, continue with the struggle until Uganda is free. I want to thank you very much for listening to us, for God and my country. And maybe we
Toyanziza President. That is Kyagulanyi Ssentamu Robert Bobi Wine's speech. After some days of illness, when he was attempted to be killed by General Museveni's security forces. Now, after the survival, he's giving out the speech, and that was what he had to say to the world.